When I set out to make Merlot, every year, every vintage, it's a goal of mine to say I'm going to make the best Merlot in the world. And it's not arrogance, it's just a goal. That's what I set out to do. And that's why right now we're standing here in the middle of Beckstoffer's vineyard. These are by far the best Merlot grapes I've found in Napa Valley, and we're in the middle of the Oak Knoll district, which is just a prime growing region for Merlot. So the reason Oak Knoll is such a great area for growing Merlot is it really has to do with its location. Just to the south of us is the San Pablo Bay, which is the top of San Francisco Bay, and to the north of us stretches into Yountville and St. Helena and Calistoga. While we will get warm temperatures up into the hundreds here during the summer, it'll cool off very quickly, and by 6 o'clock in the evening it's quite comfortable here because of the influence of the bay. Where up valley it's going to stay much warmer later in the day. So it allows the Merlot grape, which has a thinner skin, to really get long hang time. We have the ability here in Oak Knoll to let our fruit hang into October, sometimes even early November. So I got into making Merlot because as a child, my father was a collector of right bank Bordeaux wines, which are mainly Merlot-based wines. So I always grew up around really good wine and really good Merlot wine. And as I started my love affair with wine as I got older, I really found myself drawing towards just the accessibility and the sexiness of a Merlot. So as I came here to Napa Valley on my wine project, on my wine journey, knowing this is what I wanted to get into, I realized that Merlot can be amazing here from Napa Valley. It is the king of cabs here in Napa, but I think the best Merlots in the world are made here as well. And the growing conditions are perfect. The winemaking technology and the abilities here in the valley are amazing. And everybody's out there making a cab. You know, I like to do things a little different. I like to do something special. It's why it's the only wine I make. All my focus goes into Merlot, and all my focus goes into making a world-class Merlot. So here we are in the middle of the Beckstoffer vineyard, but once the fruit leaves here and goes to our facility, now we have to start processing these grapes. So that's when I really had to start knocking on doors. That was the piece that I really needed to learn about and get my arms around. So one great thing about Napa Valley is that it's an open door. You can just go knock on doors, talk to people. I happened to knock on the door of Tom Rinaldi. So having Tom Rinaldi as my mentor and my winemaker means a lot to me. To everybody watching, they might not know who Tom is. Well, Tom was the founding winemaker at Duckhorn Vineyards, and he's been the winemaker at Provenance Vineyards as well. So I'm sure you've had his wines, especially if you're a Merlot lover, you've had his wine somewhere. He's going on his 37th vintage here in the valley, and he's been through the heyday. He's been through it all. He's at the twilight of his career, and I'm lucky enough that he's passing all that info down to me now. When I make my wine, I often talk about how this is going to be my legacy that I leave to my kids and my family. And one of the great things I get to do with this wine is bring two huge Napa Valley legacies to you in this bottle. The Beckstoffer name is synonymous with world-class grapes, and Tom Rinaldi's name is synonymous with some of the best Merlots in the world. So in this bottle, you're going to have the opportunity to taste not only my legacy, but theirs as well, and just all the heritage and passion and joy that has gone on in this valley for the last 35 years. And all this for the great cause that Cellar Angels brings to the table. So here we are tasting the 2007 Merlot, and the wine here, I'll just kind of take you through what I'm getting on the wine right now and where it is. I really feel this wine really took a big step and really came into its own in December, which is pretty typical with a wine. That's about 8 months in bottle, and the fruits just really come out in this, and there's just some beautiful spices. So the fruit, it's just big blackberry, dark berries, a hint of blueberry, some cassis. Yeah, and then what I love about this is we do only about 20% new French oak, so it just gives it a hint of the Christmas spice, some sweet spice, some cloves, some allspice. It's just really pretty on the nose right now. Yeah, and it really just flows across the palate. Really silky texture. The 20% new French oak just really kind of ingrains some real fine grain tannin, some sweet tannin. Just really carries it well across the palate, and the finish just finish goes on forever on this wine right now. It's really drinking well. Yeah, still getting the finish from that last sip. So yeah, it's really a special time to drink this wine. It's a great opportunity here because you're really going to see the wine at its finest point in its young stage so far. So, and while the wine is made to age, you'll be able to lay this wine down for 10 years. But I make it to drink right now, and that's really the great thing about Merlot is they're accessible, they're approachable at an early age, and yeah, it's really doing well.